This is not public knowledge, but fuck it, we'll make it public. We're right now doing the goals for Cardano 2025, and we're working with a major consultancy who shall remain nameless for the moment, but hopefully we'll be able to announce them soon. But they're a big brand name, a little north of DC. One of the things that we'd like to do is run an entire country's backend on Cardano. It's a goal of Cardano 2025. And so e-governance is an example of, well, conceptually, how do you think about that? And there's a lot of, like, for example, Hashcash and DigiCash were proto-Bitcoins. There are kind of proto-governments that could run on a blockchain. And what's really cool is we've noticed that there's a tremendous appetite, actually, for these types of things, whether it be a Carib ID system or just fixing some of the mistakes that were made in large economies when they first tried to digitize, or a philosophical question of whether you actually can do e-voting or not. In fact, we like to talk about e-voting, and the old is new, the new is old. So it's an interesting and incredibly colossal problem of how do you actually govern a country on a blockchain, and what innovations and economies of scale do you get? And also, can a country exhibit the same thing as an ant hive, where you have these emergent interactive properties, where you build this beautiful resilient thing that can service a need, whether it be property registration or something else, and it somehow works. And a lot of people say, well, that's just not possible. But I was recently at a major telco where we were having it, and they shall remain nameless until an MOU comes out. But we were talking about India versus the United States. In the United States, spectrum is heavily regulated. It's very oligarchical. It's top down from the FCC. In India, it's like a cutthroat, brutal marketplace where you have this patchwork of micro ISPs together. And somehow, despite that, usually you can get pretty good service, and it's like $8 a month, if that, for a subscription for a 4G phone with unlimited data. So that's like an ant system of resilient stuff from the bottom up, patchworking to provide coverage for 1.4 billion people out of necessity, whereas America is a very cathedralish, top-down type of a system. So when you talk about e-governance, the question is, how much do you want to replicate of the old versus how much do you want to bring in for new?